It's really amazing, isn't it, how one global event can just change everything, especially how we shop, what we buy.
Absolutely.
And today we're looking at China, which is, well, kind of a fascinating case study. They went through that first pandemic peak earlier than a lot of places.
Hmm.
So looking at their consumer behavior might give us, a bit of a preview of what might be coming elsewhere.
Exactly. We're diving into those shifts in China right after that initial intense COVID wave. By looking at their experience, yeah, we might uncover some really valuable clues about longer-term changes.
Changes that could pop up in other markets too, as, they move into their own post-pandemic phases.
Precisely.
So to really get into it, we've got a couple of key sources here. First, a report from IT journalist Takefumi Makino. It's called 059.txt,
Right. And the second one is a report, 2020 News.
which translates to 2020 top 10 new consumption opportunities. Sounds promising.
It is. And our sort of mission here is to really pull out the key trends, the big changes in how Chinese consumers started behaving after that initial pandemic shock.
Highlighting the main shifts and thinking about, well, what it might mean for you listening in your own situation.
Exactly.
Okay, so first thing, we all remember spending way more time at home, right?
Hey, definitely.
But what's interesting in China is even as things opened up, this stay-at-home consumption, or inuria as the Japanese report calls it, seems to have really stuck around, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. I mean, sure, that initial huge spike in food delivery, fresh groceries online, that's calmed down a bit from the absolute peak.
Naturally.
But the levels are still way higher than before the pandemic, significantly higher.
So it wasn't just a temporary thing.
Doesn't look like it. It's just a real fundamental shift in how people think about convenience, their daily routines,
It wasn't just ordering takeaway, was it? Looks like people got busy in their own kitchens, too. That Makino report, it points to some pretty big jumps in sales for basic cooking stuff. This is comparing November 2020 to November 2019.
Right. What did it find?
Flour up over 17%, seasonings almost 9% up, soy sauce over 8%, even smaller bottles of cooking oil up nearly 6%.
Wow.
That's a lot more home cooking happening. What do you think kept that going beyond just the initial had-to-cook phase?
Well, it's probably a mix of things, right?
Yeah,
Necessity at first, sure. But maybe people rediscovered they actually like cooking.
could be.
Or maybe prioritizing health, or just finding it's cheaper, more convenient in the long run. And this ties into the growth in ready-to-eat frozen meals, too.
Ah, right. The convenience factor again.
Exactly. Frozen hot pot, for example.
Yeah.
Sales shot up almost 66%. Other frozen foods up around 30%.
66%, that's huge for hot pot.
It is. And it's not just basic stuff. You've got big restaurant chains like Hadalao selling their hot pot sets for people to make at home.
So retailization of dining out, as the report says?
Precisely. Yeah. Bringing that restaurant feel into your own home.
That's a really interesting blurring of lines. And it goes beyond food, too, doesn't it? The reports mention more sales of ovens, bread makers, coffee machines.
Yeah, people investing in making their home environment better, more functional, more enjoyable.
Making home not just where you are, but where you actively do things, enjoy things.
Exactly right. And that desire for, a better quality of life at home, it connects to another key trend, refined consumption. Or fine consumption. Okay, what does that mean exactly?
It's more than just needing stuff. It's about wanting higher quality goods, better experiences within the home. Often things people share on social media, part of this alter idea.
精緻生活, like an organic, healthy, curated lifestyle.
Yeah, something like that. Focused on quality.
So how did that play out in what people bought? Did everyone just start buying premium everything?
Not quite everything, but in some key areas, definitely yes. The Makino report, for instance, highlights infant food and powdered milk.
Premium infant food sales went up nearly 5%. But the mass market stuff actually decreased by over 3%.
Wow, quite a split.
And a similar, though maybe less dramatic, pattern with powdered milk. Premium up slightly, mass market down slightly.
So people were willing to spend more, especially on things for family, for well-being.
It seems so. A willingness to invest where quality feels really important.
But you said it wasn't across the board. There were exceptions where mass market did better.
Right, and those are interesting too, like mass market oatmeal grew much faster than premium oatmeal.
Okay.
And same for pet food. Mass market outperformed premium.
So people weren't just blindly grabbing the expensive option.
Exactly. It suggests they're being quite discerning. making calculated choices, maybe based on value, maybe just what they felt was necessary versus a luxury.
Or maybe that whole refined living idea just made people more aware of certain categories, like oatmeal benefiting both ends.
That's a possibility too. Raised awareness overall. The reports also flagged products doing well if they emphasized design, natural ingredients, new experiences. Lux Botanicals was an example.
Yeah, that fits perfectly with wanting a nicer, more enjoyable home life.
It does. And interestingly, kind of the flip side, sales for things like snacks, junk food, sugary drinks, they generally declined after that first pandemic wave.
People getting healthier.
Well, yes and no. It's not like everyone gave up treats entirely, because new product launches within those categories often did really well. Like Coca-Cola Plus Fiber was mentioned as a success.
Oh, okay. So still wanting indulgence, but maybe looking for newer, slightly different, maybe slightly better for you versions.
Seems like it. A more nuanced approach, like you said earlier.
Which leads us nicely into the next big shift, health-conscious consumption. This sounds like it goes beyond just stocking up on masks and sanitizer.
Oh, definitely. This is more about a sustained, holistic focus on long-term health and wellness.
How did that show up?
A really clear example is beverages. Huge increase in demand for unsweetened drinks. Unsweetened tea jumped 17%.
17.
And unsweetened yogurt up over 13%. Meanwhile, the sugary versions saw sales drop.
That's a pretty major shift in taste, or at least in purchasing.
It really suggests a fundamental rethink of dietary habits for many people. It's not just fleeting.
And it wasn't just about buying habits either, was it? People were actively seeking out health info online.
Oh, massively. Online video views for things related to healthy eating, low-fat cooking, they just exploded. Low-fat cooking videos were up 285% in views.
285%.
And videos on low-calorie, low-fat diets, up 220%. Interestingly, videos just about dieting in general didn't see nearly as big a jump.
So more focus on specific approaches to health, not just generic weight loss.
Seems that way. And milk consumption was also up, about 12.5%, maybe seen as a healthier alternative, perhaps.
Could be. Okay, so people are more focused on home, health, quality. But it sounds like they still wanted something new, this new product consumption idea.
Yes, exactly. Even with all the disruption, or maybe because of it, there was still a strong appetite for novelty.
Why do you think that was in such an uncertain time?
That's a great question. Maybe when so much of life felt restricted, predictable. Buying something new, a new brand, a new flavor, it offered a little bit of excitement.
A small change, a bit of control.
Perhaps a way to inject something different into a constrained routine.
And the data showed this even in categories that were overall shrinking.
That's right. The Makino report mentioned confectionery, snacks.
Yeah.
Overall sales were down.
Right.
But products launched within the last year, they actually showed positive sales trends.
Interesting. So that desire for new was really powerful, even for just a new chocolate bar.
It seems so. Really underscores that appetite for freshness, for something different.
Okay, final big shift in behavior. How travel restrictions change things. The reports talk about domestic circulation consumption. What's that about?
Well, with international travel basically off the table for a long time,
Right.
people pivoted, big time, towards exploring locally, short-distance trips, rediscovering attractions closer to home.
So less big overseas holidays, more camping trips, exploring regional food, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Campsites, outdoor activities, local cuisine hotspots. They saw a lot more interest, people finding things in their own backyard, so to speak.
And businesses obviously had to adapt to that.
Absolutely. Companies started focusing much more on the domestic market. That includes tapping into lower-tier cities, they call it.
Reaching markets beyond the huge coastal cities.
Right. And also focusing more on the senior market, the adult market. Plus, we saw this rise in national pride, the two trend.
Favoring domestic Chinese brands.
Yeah, a definite preference emerging among consumers.
Yeah.
So even though overall travel took a massive hit initially, local tourism, domestic consumption started showing real signs of recovery within China.
Okay, so those are some huge shifts in what people were buying, why they were buying it, and what they were doing. But the reports also looked at where all this was happening, right? Changes in shops, e-commerce.
Yes, definitely. A clear trend emerged, large to small, and also offline stores to at-home services.
Large to small, meaning?
Meaning between January and August 2020, the number of convenience stores shot up 15%.
Yeah.
Small supermarkets up 7%.
Okay.
But large supermarkets only grew 1%. And shopping malls, zero growth. flat.
Wow, so people were favoring smaller, closer stores.
Seems like it. A real preference for convenience, proximity, getting immediate needs met rather than maybe browsing huge selections in bigger stores.
And that ties into the at-home services part, delivery becoming crucial.
Absolutely essential. Doesn't matter if you're a convenience store, a supermarket, even a mall, you needed robust to-home delivery. That became the expectation.
Less about browsing aisles, more about getting everyday stuff brought to your door easily. Location and delivery became key.
Paramount, yeah.
Okay, let's switch to the digital side. Live commerce. That seems to have really blown up.
Oh, it's huge. Live commerce, massive growth. Almost half of consumers were using it.
Nearly half.
Yeah, it actually overtook social e-commerce in popularity. Still behind traditional e-commerce sites, but catching up fast.
And it was even more popular in smaller cities.
That's right. Adoption was higher in what they call third-tier and below cities. About 55% usage there compared to 45% in the bigger first and second-tier cities.
Huh. Why do you think that is? More popular outside the biggest cities?
Well, the Makino report suggests maybe in the big cities, people rely on the established e-commerce giants for essentials.
Yeah.
And maybe still enjoy going to physical shops on weekends. But in smaller cities, maybe with fewer big department stores or specialty shops, live commerce offers this really engaging, almost entertainment-like way to shop from home.
Like QVC meets social media, but interactive?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
It bridges that gap between online ease and a more interactive, maybe more trustworthy experience than just static pages.
And even on the traditional shopping sites, the way products are shown changed too, more video.
Definitely. Short video demos, like 30 seconds long usually, they became much more common.
Makes sense. Shows how something works better than a picture.
Exactly. Showcasing features, how to use it. And these clips often get shared on platforms like Douyin China's TikTok and Kuaishou. Creates this powerful synergy.
A move towards much more dynamic visual online shopping overall.
For sure.
Okay, so let's try and pull this all together. It really feels like these shifts in China post-pandemic, they offer some really valuable pointers for the rest of us. Obviously, China's market is unique, Japan's is different, everywhere is different, as Makino points out. But these broad trends, they could give us a real glimpse of what might be coming, right?
That's exactly the takeaway, I think. That increased focus on home life, the demand for better quality, healthier stuff, that ongoing desire for novelty.
Right.
And the pivot to domestic travel and local consumption.
Yeah.
These are big shifts. And yeah, they could very well echo in other markets as they find their own footing post-pandemic.
And it sounds like especially new product consumption and domestic circulation consumption, those could be real areas of opportunity for businesses elsewhere.
Absolutely. Watching how these behaviors evolved in China, it can give companies a real edge potentially. Help them shape their strategies, engage with consumers whose needs are changing.
So as you're listening to this, maybe think about which of these trends, the home focus, the health and quality drive, the need for new, the local angle. Which of those feels most relevant?
Yeah, which might have the biggest impact in your own industry or just in your local area as things continue to shift and settle.
Definitely something to keep an eye on, how these consumer behaviors keep evolving globally.